Our 6-year-old daughter has type 1 diabetes, and we've been managing this disease for over 5 years. She was diagnosed when she was 11 months old, and she is now 6. And I can tell you that last night was probably one of the top 5 worst nights that I can remember in recent history. I didn't go to bed last night till about 5 in the morning, and thankfully my wife let me sleep in a little bit. But I was up all night, and she was actually up for a lot of that night with me as well. Let me tell you what happened. For the past couple nights, she has been secreting so much growth hormone, and growth hormone makes you insulin resistant. So we were just dumping insulin into her from her pump, and it was not doing anything. She was just on this rise up to 200, 230. I had given her 2 units of insulin, and she was still rising. And she kind of just plateaued at like 265, but she wouldn't come down. And so I went and got a shot from the fridge, and I drew up some insulin from the fridge, and I went and gave her a little poke in the belly, gave her a little bit extra insulin, and I waited. Normally I wait like an hour anytime I give a shot like that, and it took forever for her sugar to come back down. Right in the middle of that, her sensor started wigging out. Her Dexcom G7 was not working correctly. So I went up there and assessed that. And after waiting a long period of time, I lost hope that it was ever going to come back. Every type 1 diabetic knows that moment where they just know the sensor is too far gone and it's time to get rid of it and move on to the next one. And that point came at about probably 2:30 in the morning, maybe 3. So I went and got another sensor to change it. And I put it on, and immediately arterial blood started coming out of that hole. I had hit a little tiny artery, and I pulled that off, and by this time my daughter was awake and just screaming. And so I got another sensor, and I put that one on, and she is little, you guys. There is not a lot of real estate on her legs. I always put her sensors on the front of her thighs because that's the only place where she doesn't compress them at night. But I put this second sensor on, and I got that little wire poking up from that hole. Everybody knows that because it's probably happened to everybody a few times. So in less than 10 minutes, I had put on 2 sensors. Both of them were not going to be usable. So I had pulled both of those off. At this point, we moved her out of her room and just brought her into our room, and I had to find a new spot to put another sensor on. So I'm putting the 3rd sensor on in a 15-minute period, and we're poking her every 5-10 minutes because her sugar was coming down at this point. And it's like 4 in the morning at this point, you guys. Everybody else is fast asleep, but not us. We're up taking care of our daughter, and I love our daughter, and we will always do whatever it takes to take good care of her. But I just wanted to give you a little glimpse into what it's like to manage a child with type 1 diabetes. It is so hard. Back to the growth hormone a little bit. I have never seen growth hormone cause this much insulin resistance before. I've seen a lot of insulin resistance from it, but I've never seen it on this level before. It was probably 3 times worse than the worst time I've ever remembered it being before. So anyway, that's what it's like to have a child with type 1 diabetes. And we love our daughter, and we will always do whatever it takes to take good care of her. But sometimes you just don't sleep. And if you see the dark circles under my eyes, now you understand why.